First of all, the 9 to 5, don't like it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work for a boss. I'm way too stubborn for that too, you know. I was working for a corporate company. I was basically a social media manager for a photography retailer in the Netherlands. You know, I didn't want to go back to corporate life. My friend said also like, man, just stick to your job and maybe you can, progress in your job. And I was like, no, I don't want that, it's not for me. So I know you, like I sent you a message when I was in Cape Town and I sent you a message say, hey man, like this is something I really want to try out. So I thought that like that's not my destiny, you know. I don't want to stay in a 9 to 5 job.
Right.
I want to make progress, be able to travel around the world, and make a good living.
You faced that at the beginning, but you kept going. That's like I did it as well. You know, I also used to work for a 9 to 5, and I already knew it's not something for me, but I did it, and you did it as well. But now you see the other side. Yes, Jordi, good afternoon.
Yes.
Good morning for you.
Yeah, good morning for me. Almost afternoon now. So yeah.
Almost afternoon. Good to have you here, man. Very excited to have you here today on the call. We know each other already for a very long time, even before Business Belts. Later, more about that. So yeah, with that being said, maybe you could do a short introduction for yourself for the people watching today.
Yeah, we definitely know each other for a long time, man. I can still remember those days when we like, was it 14, 15? It's funny, man. Now we're sitting here.
More than
But
10 years ago. More than 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a long time, man. But just introduction myself. My name is Jordi. I'm actually just turned 31. I studied commerce when I was in my teenage years, and then went into marketing for a little bit. Changed my life and actually became a ranger, like safari guide in South Africa for a little bit, for 4
Nice.
years. So I moved abroad, and
Nice.
but I felt like I wanted to stay independent. You know, I didn't want to go back to corporate life. I felt like, okay, I've without sounding too arrogant, like I thought that like that's not my destiny. You know, I don't want to stay in a 9 to 5 job.
Right.
I
Yeah.
want to make progress, be able to travel around the world, and make a good living. So, you know, I know you, I know Arthur, also part of Business Belts, of course, and so I contacted you guys if I,
Yeah.
get on board with as a blue belt, and got on board,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
now
So
making results.
yeah, cool, man. So later more about the results, by the way, guys. So
Yeah.
because I know that you're doing good numbers and you come from far because you had like literally every issue what you could face. You faced that at the beginning, but you kept going. That's also what we told you. But later more about that. But what is nice to hear is that you're actually like you didn't want to stay stuck in the corporate life. So before you moved to Africa, you're kind of stuck in the corporate life, or you're working for a corporate company.
Yeah. I was working for a corporate company. I was basically a social media manager for a photography retailer in the Netherlands. But
Nice.
I didn't feel like I was on my place, you know. Like I had good colleagues, it was fun, and it was good experience for 3 years. But at some point, like I couldn't make
Yeah.
progress, like from a salary point of view. And at that point, I also really felt like, okay, I'm still young. I can, I don't have to worry about, the standard thing, relationship. We call it
Sure.
in Holland, huisje, boompje, beestje,
Sure, yeah.
But like, my friend said also like, man, just stick to your job and maybe you can, progress in your job. And I was like, no, I don't want
Yeah.
that, it's not for me. So that's why actually, like, I made the move to Africa also from an adventure point of view, because I don't know if people know, but like salary in Africa is not great. I mean, like, it's not, but it was for the adventure, life experience. So I would just wanted to adventure and also be free, And after
Nice.
then Africa, I wanted, I'm getting older a little bit, so
Yeah.
I wanted to get more financial freedom. So then I obviously signed up
Nice,
with you
man.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
So
bit
you were
cool.
a you did something related to social media for that corporate company back then.
Yeah, so basically I was in charge of basically everything. So like we worked with big photography companies like Canon, Sony, Nikon, whatever. And I was basically in charge of all the social media. So from community
Nice.
building to sales, like I would run
Yeah.
campaigns for them. But it was not too in depth, Like they had, for example, a new camera, and then we would just create an advertisement for them, looking fancy, and we would like display it
Yeah.
to our
Nice. Nice.
to our
Do you like cameras though? Like, do you do something with it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So like that's also a bit connected to Africa. Like obviously I was 4 years in Africa. I loved it. Conservation, like wildlife conservation, is very important
Cool.
to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So, but
Nice.
now my visa expired, came back to Holland. So I thought like, how can I keep the connection with Africa? So now I'm actually running, in the process of starting guided photographic safaris to Africa. So basically
Oh,
means
nice,
that
man.
They hire me as a photographer, and we go to a specific location in Africa, and I'll guide them through the whole process, like learning about their camera, learning how to take wildlife shots, because I like wildlife, I like cameras, so this was like
Yeah,
a
man.
win-win for me.
Cool. Yeah.
And this
So
way
you
I can
always,
keep a connection with Africa, like that's important
yeah.
to me.
Nice, man. Nice. Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. So like talking about social media, like would you say that what you're doing now with the e-commerce, with the paid advertising, with the marketing, running the traffic, would you say it's similar, or would you say it's a complete different thing?
Yeah, also because I think it's been 5 years. Like in 5 years, a lot has changed. Also with AI, like for example, you could run CBOs then, for example, too, but like the whole landscape just completely changed also with AI and things like that. So I don't think you can really, like what I'm doing now is so much more in depth and sophisticated than I was doing then. Then it was just
Yeah.
like, okay, Canon is paying 10,000 euros, run 5,000 euros with it, and do something cool with it, and we
Different.
can
Yeah.
just be creative. But now it's obviously more from because like selling a camera like that's worth 2,500 euros from a Facebook advertisement is not necessarily, it's not going to
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
as quick as selling something that's like worth 30 or 40 euros, for example.
Yeah.
So it was more like getting people enthusiastic, and the result will come a couple months later, and you can link
Yeah.
it to your campaign. So yeah, it's
Different.
100% different, but it's
Yeah.
also, yeah, it's cool, man.
Yeah. Cool.
It's good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Nice, man. Nice background. So then, okay, you moved back to the Netherlands because you said that your visa expired, but you still wanted to get to be connected with Africa somehow.
Yeah.
Is that also is that the reason that you started with e-commerce so that you're able to go back and make money while you're there, or not specifically? Could you elaborate a bit more on that?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I think like ecom just stands for a little bit of freedom, right? Like I just wanted to have freedom. So it's like there's a couple things that I mentioned before, like altogether is like what made me go into ecom like full time basically now. So
Yeah.
first of all, the 9 to 5, don't like it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to work for a boss. I way too stubborn for that too. Like
Yeah.
so, I can't make that happen.
But you did it anyway. Like I did it as well. I also used to
Yeah.
work for a 9 to 5, and I already knew it's not something for me, but I
Yeah.
did it, and you did it as well. But now you see the other side.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. The other side is much more bright. That's why in a corporate you're just a bit of stuck. Like yes, you have
Yeah.
skills and salary. Okay, I'm earning, for example, 1,000 euros now this month, but in the next year I can maybe make 1,200. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then inflation, and you need to. No, I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
You're always worrying. And at least now I'm responsible for my own things. So if the company is
True.
running bad, like there's nothing I can do about it. But if my company now is running bad, I'm like, okay, well, I can make adjustments. And also
Yeah.
from a learning perspective, like you can hold yourself accountable. And I think with a lot of people, they don't have that. They can't look themselves in the mirror, or they're scared to look themselves in the mirror. And I think it just also progresses you a lot as a person when you are
For
able
sure,
to
man.
look yourself in the mirror and make progress and actually make adjustments along the way. So it's like a mixture of everything. Like
Yeah.
and then wanted to go to Africa like as quick as possible, as much as possible. And just in general, like I don't want to be spending in an office like with people and
Yeah. I feel
I
what you
just
say.
enjoy the freedom.
Nice.
It's just freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man. Okay, so talking now about business belts, right? Like, what was
Yeah.
for you the reason that you started with business belts?
Obviously because I know you. Like I sent you a message when I was in Cape Town, and
Yeah.
I sent you a message say, hey man, like this is something I really want to try out. So let's get me some more information. I obviously talked to Arthur. Arthur was one of my best friends, so talked to Arthur too. Yeah, from that point on we started going. Let's say going, because it was
Yeah.
not smooth sailing in the
So,
beginning, definitely.
yeah. If we look, so if go a bit back from the moment that you started, how did the onboarding process go? Was it something that you expected? Like the way we structured business belts in terms of the channels that you have, the videos, the access you have to the coaches, like were you surprised or?
No, I think it was good. I think it's very well thought through. Like for the major things, obviously if you're a coach, like talking to Mels, like regularly now, like is my coach at the moment, is doing a great job. And, like that's like your starting block. Like you can ask him questions, and like from bigger issues, like you can just talk to him always. So he's always available. I love that. And then from the onboarding, not to go past that because I'm already talking about the coach himself, but like the onboarding process was also smooth. Like you get basically a whole bunch of videos where you go all through all these different sections and you get a proper introduction. So obviously I had a little bit of background already with e-commerce in regards to like Facebook and everything, but like the whole process in regards to dropshipping was completely new to me. So like that's very helpful to give you a little bit of introduction and make you not stop overthinking, you know, but like, oh, what do I need to do? What's next? What's
Yeah.
this? You know, otherwise it might become overwhelming. I think it's quite well structured in a way that you at least know what you're stepping into. I think that's very valuable. So
Yeah.
it's obviously onboarding, and then the coach is great, and then the community too, man. Like what you have going on, like it's great. Like I, for example, had something super valuable last week where I was struggling a little bit with creatives, and I'm like, what is now a good way to not waste my time on creatives, you know? Because they're the most important thing.
Yeah. Sure.
And somebody in the community gave me very valuable feedback. You know, he gave me a little, like he sent me a video of how to do it, explained a little bit, and now you know, a week later, one of his videos, is doing very well. You know,
Yeah.
because of his
Nice.
recommendations. That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So it's everything combined, right? It's the coaches, it's the community, it's the everything. Okay, that's nice. And
Yeah.
then, like, how did you start it? Like, how did it go from the beginning?
Yo, pain.
Yeah.
Like
What
yeah,
happened?
so obviously you
Like,
work with different type of assets, you know, ad accounts, business managers, and Facebook and things like that. Yeah, I was unlucky, like everything basically got rejected constantly. Like I was getting blocked and I was flagged constantly, you know. I think I did 3 different websites. I did 4 or 5, no, three business managers, but like 6 or 7, 8 ad accounts, and I constantly rejected and blocks, and I'm like so frustrated. I didn't know what was going on, but we pushed through, I guess, like also with the support of you guys, and now I have something that is running, you know. Like in the beginning
yeah.
that was the win, but also now making some, you
Yeah.
know, some profits. It's also
And
awesome, but it
and
was
that's
hectic.
also the thing. Like, you're a really like an special case, because I think you're like literally the only one, or maybe like another one, who had like all these issues from the beginning. And sometimes it happens for whatever reason. But then imagine you didn't have business belts or the guys like as a backup, because we kept telling you, do this, do this, do this, and then
Yeah.
I think you get hesitant because you're like, yeah, they tell me this, but I'm still facing rejections, and we kept telling you, just keep going, just keep pushing, just trust in the process. It's gonna work out. Give it some time. And now I mean, later more about that once again. But now you're at the stage where you're doing actually numbers. So you knew it was all worth it.
Yeah, for now on, you know, like I'm still like in the process of obviously starting. Like so to give people maybe a bit of an understanding, like I started in November last year, and
Yeah.
basically from November till February, I was kind of investing money, but getting nothing from it. Like I was just
Yeah.
trying to my best, you know, to make something happen. And then I came at a bit of a cross point, you know, like in February, mid-February, I'm like, okay, what it was around Chinese New Year, you know, I'm like, what am I going to do, you know, because I need to have money, because I'm back in Holland and I need to pay rent. But also I would like to keep my freedom, you know. I don't want to go corporate, like we mentioned earlier. So I'm like, okay. And then I gathered all my energy together and said, okay, well, one last time, you know, let's make it happen, you know, like I need to try this. And then like now we getting
Nice.
there.
Nice. So what is the stage that you're currently at? So let's say from half of February, you were basically running without issues. So let's say that was actually the first weeks for you really in ecom, because that was actually the only moment that we could really give our expertise, provide our expertise towards your business,
Yeah.
right? So from that moment until now, like, could you maybe share a screen? Could you maybe show what you have done?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So just yeah, but I basically started running ads from like the first week of March, and obviously then it's obviously investing money in your ad account,
Okay.
and
So the first week of March, you have been basically running the first ads, and it's now the 27th of March. So let's say you've been in for 3.5 weeks now.
yeah, let's say 3.5 weeks. Let me share
Yeah,
my screen. There you go. Can you see my screen? Huh?
I can see your screen.
Okay, awesome. So maybe let me just
Hey,
go back to
today
like
you already did 20 orders. What time is it there? 11 in the
it is
morning.
now. It's 10:30. So
Yeah.
I've been.
Okay.
Yesterday was a bit of a, you know, okay day. The day before I had a record day, and today looking good, you know. So
Nice, man. Nice. So, okay, wait. What do we see here? This is month to date. This is like exactly
yeah.
1 month, right?
So this is basically like from the start.
Yeah.
Like I basically started, you know, maybe a little bit before March. I see now. Like let me just do just this year, you know. Then you can see properly, and the end.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well,
See
let's
like
get back to like the last month. That is.
90
Yeah.
days. Maybe that's the best, you know. Like you can.
Yeah. I
I
think.
think this is where I started my like campaign, you know. Like
Yeah. But if you check the last 30 days,
wild
like
man.
the difference because there is like a slight difference. Yeah, this is basically all of it. So this is around 35,000 euros in revenue. What you
Yeah.
did the past month, right? In the last 30 days, basically.
Yeah, correct, man. Like it's like I started with obviously because my cash flow was because of all my investments in the beginning, my cash flow was relatively low. So I like what I thought like, okay, let me just try to find products that are not as, expensive from a cost of goods point of view. And then, you see like I'm started to make some money, some products were running well. I think you can see that in the charts very nicely. And then I upgraded, to more expensive products. And then again,
Yeah,
started doing well. And then with the guidance of my coach, and then I increased budgets and now we're scaling. And then again, you can see like quite a decent amount of, um, yeah, influx again. So yeah,
sure. Yeah,
it looks
amazing.
good.
Yeah. So this is 35,000 euros revenue, and then like what profit percentage are we looking at?
It depends on the day. Like I've seen that like at the beginning of the week is a little bit less, but let's say on average, like I'll probably make between 18 and 28 profit margin.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
let's say that if you would say 20% on average, which is a bit on the low side because you say between 18 and 28, but let's say
yeah.
we put it at 20%, that's already around 7k profit in the last 30 days, 7,000 euros. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, and then like obviously you're dealing with some like for example some returns. So like
Of course.
let's say for example I'm aiming to get a net profit like without all like all costs off of it, probably maybe around 5 to 5,500 net profit this month, like with
Yeah.
all costs gone, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So let's say 5.5k, 5.5 thousand euros in once again basically your first 30 days in e-commerce, right? Like now you really see what's possible because once again the months before, yes, you were trying something but you get rejections. For the
Yeah,
people watching, what does it mean? It basically means when you get rejections that for whatever reason Meta restricts your ad accounts or whatever and you can't run traffic. But there's always ways around for it. What we helped Jordi with, and now you see like because you kept going. Imagine that time after Chinese New Year that you said like, okay, let's stop. But now you do 5.5k profit in these first 30 days, right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
So
nice.
it's good, man.
I would just say that the coach Mels has been valuable to you first from the beginning that you got these rejections first thing, and then from the moment that you're actually now in the scaling phase.
Like in the beginning with the rejections, do you want to still share my screen by the way? Like
Yeah, I mean maybe what we maybe could do because you said 2 days ago was the record day. Could you maybe
yeah,
show that 2 days ago? Like
yeah,
how
100%.
how much
Like
revenue did you do?
it was, I think it was close
Monday.
to.
Imagine you do like the record day on a Monday. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was running like like every Monday was been quite poor for me. I think it was Monday, right? 40? No, no, no. Maybe it was Sunday then. I'm actually not sure now. Let me just check.
38.
38.
It's now Thursday. Maybe it was Tuesday.
Maybe it was Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, there we go. 51 orders.
Oh,
This is the one, Like that was good.
nice.
Also a nice
Nice.
conversion rate, and I was very happy with that day.
Yeah. So what is the revenue here? Like around 2 point,
What is it,
2.6k, 2.67k.
Yeah, yeah. So that's like because I was in the thrilled in the beginning, like with my first 1K day, but at the same time I didn't feel like okay, I didn't want to, like get to celebrate it, just push through, go continue. Maybe this is a fluke, and then, but then I'm starting to make 1K days like more often, more often, more often. Now it's actually like stable, like minimal 1K day revenue. And this was, I think it's almost close to 2,000 euros, like in one day, like
Yeah,
almost
I see
2K.
the 20,000 Danish krone. Oh wait, this is Swedish krones.
Yeah,
That's my
Swedish
bad.
crowns. Yeah.
Sorry. That's 1,800 euros. Oh wait, maybe then the monthly overview wasn't correct. Could you show it once again? Because I did Danish krones, but it is
Oh yeah, no,
Swedish
it's
krones.
yeah,
The
yeah. So
loss.
that's why I'm thinking I'll be like getting probably like 5,500 euros net of.
205 as well. Okay, so this is 24,000, almost, yeah, 24,000 euros in revenue. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
still
there you
the
go.
profit remains the same. Like it doesn't matter. You already mentioned that.
Yeah, yeah, no, the profit center main.
Yeah,
Like let's say five and a
yeah,
half, maybe 6K this month, which is
yeah.
awesome,
Okay,
amazing.
okay, amazing, man. Okay, so how do you feel that Mels is now helping you with like scaling because you're doing these numbers now on a daily basis? Like, would you say he's still able to give you that real feedback, that real knowledge?
Yeah, 100%. Because like obviously when you're looking at your own funds, you know, your own money, it's, you know, you get a bit of emotional attachment. What I like about you guys, you basically step away from that emotion and you just say, okay, now just do this, you know, with cash flow in consideration. I mean, like I can push, for example, 1,000 euros now. I can make maybe let's say I'm making 200 sales tomorrow, but also I need to pay, you know, cost of goods, you know, like, so he's helping a lot. Okay, you know, don't focus then too much on this product, maybe focus on this product a little bit more, and then scale that one because that's doing very well. Cost of goods are relatively low, and then you can generate more cash flow, because I think that is the most important thing, you know, if you're running now. Cash flow is key. So like with my coach, you know, like with Mels, like he's helping me a lot with that. And also when to cancel specific ads, you know, like sometimes you like, you know, you think like potential is in there, and like, you know, cut it because of this reason, and like, okay.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and every time is different. Like also like how you can create a special offer for your customer. Like it's also different, you know, like you think you can, with your expertise, you think, okay, this might be a good offer. And then it just gives you a different perspective on some things. So like, and it's continuous, you know, since I'm still obviously in the beginning, relatively new to the whole process, you know, he guides you through the whole system, which is super valuable. So yeah, no complaints in that regard.
Amazing, man. That sounds good. You can stop sharing your screen, by the way. Okay, and then if you look at because in Business Belts we focus on business coaching, where we guide you through the business, and then also accountability wise. What have you learned so far accountability wise? How's that been going for you?
Yeah, I've been good. You know, I've been talking to Rudy. I'm not gonna lie, like I'm already quite a structured person myself.
I know, I
So
know.
like you know, like I'm Dutch. I'm doing my ice baths, you know, every day,
Yeah,
and you know, I'm quite active in regards to exercise. So
yeah,
like from that point of view, like I didn't need as much guidance as potentially other people need, you know.
Ye- yeah,
Uh, but it's definitely extremely valuable. Like where my value lays with a person like Rudy is overthinking, for example. You know, okay, don't worry about that too much, or maybe, you know, focus now on, you know, increasing your you know, your company yourself in a way of like you're hiring people and things like that. Maybe just a bit more structure from a
yeah,
dropshipping point of view, because that is new to me. But I
yeah,
think it's very valuable that people can, like, you know, get an accountability coach and then say, okay, well, yo, Thomas, why did you not do that at some point? Like you said
yeah,
you were going to do that. Why are you not doing that? You know. But
yeah.
you know, I'm quite disciplined. Like I'm,
Nice. That's
like
the most
like,
important thing. That's the most
yeah.
important thing. Like being disciplined. Yeah,
But at the same time, sometimes I get too much into it, you know, and then I'm sitting with, you know, a high heart
yeah.
rate on the couch, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
you need to find a balance there.
yeah,
I know. I'm the same. I've been the same
yeah,
on levels with like crazy hard Muay Thai trainings and then work, and you get exhausted eventually. So yeah,
yeah,
but
you know,
but
like.
great to hear, man. Yeah,
But I'm
and then
getting find the balance now, you know. And also, he
right.
said, like, for example, a great advice that he gave me. He's like, "Yo, why would you like even look at your notifications like at all? Just switch off your notification, man. Like because now you're getting basically a hit if you get a sale, um, and then you're like happy. But if you then don't get a sale for 2 hours, you're kind of not happy.
Yeah, it plays
You
with
know,
your
like
emotions. It's so
it's not
true. It's these small
it's
things.
nonsense, man.
Yeah.
So he said switch
Okay.
everything off, emails, everything, switch everything off, and then like now I'm basically I check in the morning to see, you know, like what was my obviously did I run it yesterday, because I go to bed like I'm not looking at my phone anymore from 9 p.m., which is maybe some people then still watch and check, but I need to like I'm done with my phone then, you know. I don't want any distractions before I go to bed, you know, and but then I check in the morning. Okay, did I get some more sales in the evening? And then always like, you know,
Yeah.
you check everything.
Amazing.
And then I see also what I'm making like in the morning, like early morning. Is it starting up? Is everything is running well? Are my ads running?
Yeah.
And then basically I check during lunchtime, maybe 2 o'clock. Maybe I check in the middle a couple times, you know, if the orders are going through or if there's any
Nice.
issues. But
Yeah.
otherwise I check maybe let's say I check on average 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you go crazy. I go crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
I go mental.
For
Yeah.
sure, yeah. So now that you're seeing this, the potential, what you can do, you did 2,000 Swedish crowns on a day, like doing 50 orders. Like, do you now see the potential of ecom, and do you believe that you can really scale this to high numbers with the knowledge that we provide within Business Belts?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like I think it's a bit of an like a Dutch thing too, right? You're like, oh, that's not gonna work. You know,
Yeah.
the stubbornness or like the narrow-minded point of view. Like everybody
Yeah.
knows everything already, and you know, we're not
Yeah.
gonna. That's nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
But I see now, you know, like you can really see what's possible, which is awesome. You know,
Yeah.
sky's the limit in that
Yeah.
way.
Nice, amazing, man. And for someone who's watching this and considering to start with e-commerce in general, or considering to start with business belts, what would you recommend them? What would you tell them?
Like because I had a rough start, you know. Like a lot of people, they would probably say like who had smooth sailing from the beginning, like, "Oh, make it happen, do it," you know. You can easily do it,
Yeah,
no
I know.
problem.
Yeah.
I don't think that is the right message to tell them because it's a business, you know. You need to put your heart in it. Like
Yeah,
I'm
man.
running now, obviously the two companies together, like the
Yeah.
photographic safaris and now and ecom. Like you need
Yeah.
to put time and effort in it. But it's you know if you can put your head to it and your mind to it, then it's
True.
you know sky's the limit, man. Like you need to just make it happen, put the hours in, and then you know
Yeah.
like you can generate your own freedom. So I definitely would recommend it for everybody. Um, you know, like from a starting point of view, but you know you need to put your heart in it.
Yeah,
Like you
man.
have stories, you
Sure.
know, like
For sure. Yeah. And that is
people.
also how that is also what we say in business belts, right? We're not here to sell someone the dream. We tell like, listen, you want this, we help you, but you need to do it. And you need to go all in and no
Yeah,
off days, and then it's gonna work. And if not, then it's not gonna work. We
no,
say that
exactly.
always, be transparent about it. And that's what you did. You kept going like our way basically. And now you see the results, right?
Yeah, 100%. So that's why it's a good link, you know. Like I had all the difficulties, like from all the people that I've spoken to. Like I had
You had
probably
the most. You had the most. I'm sure. Like
most
it's
issues.
for real. You had the most issues. I knew, and that's also what we said. And you were probably thinking like, yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like I'm a that, but like for real, man. You were like so unlucky for whatever reason, but hey, you
yeah,
kept pushing, and look now.
yeah, exactly. So like I think a good message, you know. Like I was the most unlucky person of all the people that has been in the community, which is how
Yeah.
now I'm not sure how many there are, but you're still
Yeah.
growing.
Over 160 people. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. 160 people. Nobody had that issue. Me, of course, the bad luck.
You had it. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I'm still positive now, you know, after
Yeah.
four or
Because
5 months of struggling.
yeah,
So I think
because
that
it
tells a
also
lot.
built you. It built you as a person. If something like this happens next time, you already know like this, and this to do. Okay, fix it. Boom, done. Because
Yeah,
you already
exactly.
went through the process. So yeah,
So
amazing.
in that way, like I can recommend it to everybody if
Yeah,
somebody has the heart to do it. And like, don't be
yeah,
scared, man. Like a lot of people, like it's a bit of a fear. Well, the world is in fear in general, you know.
for sure.
It's
Yeah, man.
just
It's comfort zone.
yeah, comfort zone. And there's no winning in you know like letting your fear. How do you say it properly? Like letting you as a person getting guided by fear is just nonsense, you know. Like I
Exactly.
always say to myself, like imagine if I'm 60 years old or I'm 70 years old, and I look back at it, like
Yeah,
look back at my life, you know, and oh I wish I've done that, you know. Oh I
yeah.
wish I've tried that. No, that's not
And
that
you
doesn't
don't
work.
want that, right? You don't want to have
No.
these regrets. You just want to be like, yeah, man, I did it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I can't live like that. So that, for example, with Africa, also, you know, people said to me, "Ach, don't do that, man. Like, just stay at your at the company, you know, get
Yeah,
you know, like it's good for when you're old, you know. At least you get a more, you
exactly.
get blah 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 blah. Everything is gonna be fine. Then get a dog, get a cat, get a goldfish." I'm like,
Yeah,
no, I'm going to Africa, bro. Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna explore the
right.
wild, you know. And I
For
think
sure,
that that's just a mindset that you should have when you go into something like that.
for sure.
So
Yeah,
don't be
man.
scared. That's
No.
basically the message.
Thanks,
Yeah.
man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Really appreciate your input. Yeah, I think I will also end here the conversation that we had, unless you still want to mention something. Oh, where can people find your company? I can put it here down below in the link, by the way, on
Yeah,
YouTube. I
that'd
will
be
add
cool,
the
man.
link of the safari
So
trip.
people can just check my footage on basically my full name, Jordi Woerts, and then Wild, like on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And then
Yeah,
my website is my full name, jordiwoerts.com, and then you can find the
I will
photographic stories.
I will edit it down below the video. I won't add your dropshipping store. That's not going to be a good idea.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, man. See you in the next one. And oh, one last question. What is your next step in e-commerce? Where do you see yourself in 2 months from now, for example? What do you think?
Sure, like still setting up, of course, now running first profits. I just want to move, man. Like travel. Like I want
All
to,
right.
now with my safari. Like I'm actually have my first safari also planned in July. So
Okay.
like I'm gonna be, but I wanna, you know, this is the freedom that I have now. I can do that, and I
Yeah,
have my
man.
online business now. I can work in Africa now remotely, still, you know, making sales. That's
Amazing.
that is awesome, and then continue, you know, scale, get my cash flow up, and then and start building on different stores. You know, sky's the limit. You know, and we're not
Next
holding back.
next conversation we have, we talk when you're in a different location, okay?
Yeah, yeah, cool, man.
And I see
Let's
you
do.
in the Netherlands. I see you in the Netherlands. I'll be there in 2 months. We catch up for sure, okay?
Yeah, 100%, man. Maybe you can do like we can do a call when I'm at the waterhole in Africa, you know, with some elephants in the background.
For
That'd be
sure.
cool.
That will be cool. That will be cool. All right. Thank you, bro. We keep in touch. Ciao.
100%, man. Cheers, man. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.